The two most harmful vitamins for leg weakness. After 60, feeling your legs becoming weaker, heavier, or sore may be a cause for concern. You might notice that standing for long periods, walking, or climbing stairs is becoming increasingly difficult. If that's the case, pay close attention. What I'm about to share in this video may surprise you and help explain exactly why this is happening. A combination of certain harmful foods, two vitamins commonly believed to be essential for health, and two specific elements may be draining the strength from your legs. Yes, even vitamins that are widely praised for their benefits might actually be weakening your muscles, overloading your joints, and leaving your legs feeling unsteady, uncomfortable, and vulnerable. The most alarming part? These threats are part of your everyday routine. Every bite and every sip could be silently contributing to the weakness you feel. And it doesn't stop there. Those two vitamins you may be taking right now could actually be speeding up muscle loss and damaging your leg strength. You likely bought them from the pharmacy with good intentions, believing they would protect your health, support your body, and strengthen your bones. This video will expose the truth behind these supplements and foods. You'll learn what's really causing the fatigue, swelling, stiffness, and recurring pain in your legs. Most importantly, you'll find out what to avoid and what changes you can make today to restore your strength, energy, and independence. Want to preserve your leg strength and age with confidence? Then stay with me until the end. 15th. Sweets and sugary desserts. Sweets and desserts have long been associated with pleasure and comfort. However, after age 60, this habit can quietly sabotage your leg health. Excessive intake of refined sugar triggers inflammation in the body, particularly in the muscles and joints. Chronic inflammation makes your legs more sensitive, painful, and prone to weakening. Sugar is also linked to increased insulin resistance, which depletes the muscle's energy supply. Without enough energy, muscles weaken and function less efficiently. In addition, sugar contributes to weight gain, putting extra strain on your legs. Each added pound requires more effort from your leg muscles and joints, accelerating wear and tear, pain, and feelings of weakness. For older adults, who naturally lose muscle mass with age, this becomes even more problematic. Sugar also leads to higher production of toxins in the body, which further aggravates inflammation. The more inflammation, the harder it is to keep your legs strong and functional. Did you know sugar directly affects circulation? Excess sugar increases the risk of vascular problems that reduce blood flow to the lower limbs. Poor circulation means your leg muscles receive less oxygen and fewer nutrients, impairing recovery and regeneration. That dessert might cost more than it seems, especially when it comes to your mobility. Moreover, sweets are low in key nutrients needed for muscle health, such as protein and magnesium. Essentially, they are empty calories that weaken rather than strengthen your body. In older age, such a poor diet accelerates muscle loss, one of the biggest threats to mobility. Sometimes, the culprit might be as simple as a slice of pie or piece of cake. If you feel your legs growing weaker, that innocent treat might be chipping away at your strength and independence. Most processed sweets also contain artificial additives, dyes, and preservatives that intensify inflammation. These disrupt your body's natural balance and directly impact your muscular system. Combined with sugar, they create a harmful health cocktail. One meaningful step is to replace processed sweets with healthier alternatives, like fruit topped with cinnamon or homemade desserts with less sugar. You don't have to give up desserts entirely. Just make smarter choices that respect your body. Your legs and your taste buds will thank you. Blood flow, hence complicating muscle oxygenation. Poor circulation robs the body of its capacity to heal and grow strong. Fried meals also cause blood vessel blockage, which is another problem. This restricts even further the passage of vital nutrients to the leg muscles. Over time, this mechanism weakens the body's support and hastens joint wear. Among the key offenders are foods such as donuts, chicken nuggets, and French fries. Before we begin, I would like to know where you are with me today. Leave a comment down below, and don't hesitate to inquire about anything. Remember to press the subscribe button and enable notifications to always get the greatest health advice from Senior Health. And if you're viewing now, I want to know you're with me. Comment type 1 if this video resonates with you. If not, type 0. Consumed often, these products really overwhelm the skeletal and circulatory systems. The flavor does not warrant the health harm. Have you ever noticed that after a dinner high in fried foods, your legs felt more sore and heavier? Your body is responding to the surplus of harmful fats. These foods' long digestion uses a lot of energy, thus less is left for the muscles. This diet may directly reflect in leg weariness. Furthermore, regular eating of fried meals has been associated with weight rise, which further compounds the strain on the lower extremities. Breaking it is quite difficult. Fried foods also have low nutritional density, which means they provide few vitamins, minerals, and proteins, really strengthening the muscles. A diet ruled by this kind of food creates an imbalance that encourages loss of muscular mass. Less muscle causes the legs to lose stability and rigidity. This affects your capacity to carry weight, ascend stairs, or walk securely. Avoiding fried foods is one of several straightforward actions that can help you to keep your mobility and independence. Changing fried foods for better cooking techniques helps to save your legs. 13. Though its impact on the body, particularly after 60, is far from benign, white bread is a typical breakfast and snack item. Made from refined flour, it goes through a procedure removing most of the fibers and necessary nutrients. This makes it a quickly absorbed carbohydrate that raises blood glucose levels. These spikes directly impact muscular health, particularly in the legs, hence generating weariness and weakness. Regular eating causes metabolic imbalance. White bread, low in fiber and high in glycemic index, also increases insulin resistance. By lacking fiber, this impairs the entrance of glucose into muscle cells, hence influencing the energy and strength required for daily activities. Muscle firmness in the legs is more difficult to keep the less energy they get. This can develop into muscular mass loss, something somewhat typical with aging. In this case, white bread stops being a neutral food and starts to be a cause of irritation. White bread's effects extend beyond glucose. Being a diet low in proteins and minerals, it provides no genuine help for muscle recovery. To prevent sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle, older persons require more proteins. Neglecting alternative protein sources and consuming white bread every day is a mistake that depletes the body meal by meal. This could result in unresistant, weary, unsteady legs. Apart from not feeding, white bread encourages weight increase, particularly when paired with butter, cheeses, or desserts. Excess weight puts pressure on the legs, already inherently more fragile in later ages. Pain, inflammation, and an increased risk of injury follow. White bread limits mobility rather than supporting. Every bite could appear innocuous, but the total of bad eating practices is what causes the most harm. Fortunately, there are many more nutritional and better substitutes. Whole grain breads, naturally fermented or manufactured with grains like oats, flaxseed, and rye, provide beneficial fibers and nutrients. They indirectly enhance muscles, promote digestion, and aid to normalize blood sugar. Combined with proteins and healthy fats, such as eggs or avocado, they create balanced meals. You need not give up bread, simply select better. Still in this movie, you will find the two worst vitamins that impair your legs. 12. With age, especially when we consider muscle and joint health of the legs, consuming alcoholic drinks is even more dangerous. Beyond 60, the body becomes less efficient in metabolizing alcohol, hence increasing its detrimental consequences. Among the key results is the challenge in absorbing vital minerals, including calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. Lacking these components, the muscles weaken and the bones get brittle, hence heightening the likelihood of fractures and falls. Alcohol also directly hinders muscle repair. This implies that following any physical exertion, the body needs more time to restore the tissues, hence causing extended pain, weariness, and an increased chance of damage. The drink also causes dehydration, which impairs muscular flexibility and promotes leg unpleasant cramps. Furthermore, alcohol impairs liver function, which is connected to the synthesis of compounds vital for tissue. Health, the link between drinking and weight increase, is also quite significant. Alcoholic drinks are very calorie-rich and encourage belly fat formation, even in contemporary quantities. This extra weight strains the legs and calls for more from the joints, hence impairing the ability to move. Adding this to the natural decrease of muscle mass with aging can have catastrophic effects on mobility and quality of life. Have you observed that your body wakes up more exhausted and aching after a night of drinking? That's the reflection of the strain alcohol puts on the muscles and joints. Regular use raises the body's inflammatory levels, which aggravates discomfort and lowers the desire for physical activity. Over time, this practice greatly undermines the body's capacity to remain active and healthy. And shortly, I'm going to disclose which two vitamins could weaken your legs. 11. Many people's routines include processed meats for their convenience, yet they mask grave leg health hazards, particularly in old age. High in sodium and chemical preservatives, foods such as bacon, ham, and sausages encourage chronic inflammation throughout the body. This kind of inflammation impacts the joints and causes ongoing discomfort in the leg muscles, ankles, and knees. These foods may be directly related to the stiffness people experience upon awakening. Processed meats have another drawback: their high saturated fat content. This fat decreases muscular blood flow, raises negative cholesterol levels, and compromises circulation. Poor irrigation deprives the leg muscles of nutrition and oxygen, hence impairing their maintenance and regeneration. The outcome is a gradual weakening of the lower extremities. Eventually, this decline in power restricts basic daily tasks. Furthermore, these meals help to accumulate toxins in the body, stressing the liver and kidneys. These organs are vital in filtering out chemicals that, when collected, lead to muscular weariness. Preservatives in processed meats have also been shown to affect glucose metabolism, hence lowering the muscle energy available. Once more, the effect is experienced straight in the legs as ongoing feelings of weariness and heaviness. While elderly people sometimes select these items for their ease, dietary attention should be doubled exactly in this stage of life. When it comes to sacrificing quality of life, the convenience might be expensive. Choosing healthy proteins, such as eggs, chicken, fish, and lean cuts of beef, is a key first step in maintaining muscular strength and health. All the difference comes from easy replacements. Substitute avocado or olive oil for bacon, cooked eggs for sausage, and shredded chicken breast for ham. The body starts to adjust with these modifications. The legs become lighter and more alive. Between taste and freedom, between pleasure and lifespan, it's a reasonable deal. Though their impact on the body, particularly after 60, is concerning, Instant noodles would seem to be the ideal answer for people seeking convenience. Largely composed of refined flour and chemical additives, providing relatively little nutritional value, this fast meal is the outcome. A calorie-rich meal, low in fiber, proteins, and micronutrients, necessary components for preserving muscular mass. Over time, this kind of diet directly causes leg and mobility deterioration. Among the main drawbacks of quick noodles is their very high salt level. A single serving could provide you more than half of the daily advised intake of this mineral. Too much sodium encourages fluid retention, which makes the legs swollen and painful. Furthermore, it increases blood pressure, which hinders sufficient blood flow to the muscles. Poor circulation also causes muscle tissue to become undernourished, weak, and slower to recover from activity. The chemical additives in the flavors that accompany the noodles are another cause for worry. Often connected to chronic inflammatory processes are preservatives, colors, and monosodium glutamate. Even when minor, these inflammations impair joint function and speed muscle deterioration. Eventually, this results in discomfort, stiffness, and mobility restrictions being more frequent in the daily life of those who eat this kind of food. The effect on metabolism is really important as well. Lack of fibers raises the glycemic index of the noodles, which in turn raises blood sugar levels. Glycemic instability affects insulin activity, hence preventing muscles from effectively using energy. Muscles grow weak and tired quickly when they lack effective energy intake. Poor diet can turn a simple stroll to the store into a grueling struggle. 9. While they conceal components that seriously harm leg health, particularly in the mature period, industrially made cakes smell like youth and taste like joy, filled with processed sugar, hydrogenated fat, and synthetic preservatives that upset metabolism and irritate the body. These items are particularly sugar disturbs insulin function and encourages the buildup of body fat. This not only causes overweight, but also sets a metabolic setting bad for preserving muscular strength. The presence of trans fats, which are utilized to improve taste and shelf life, is another important aspect of these cakes. These fats lower good cholesterol and raise bad cholesterol, hence compromising blood flow. Poor blood circulation deprives the leg muscles of required nutrients and causes them to deteriorate over the long run. This could cause loss of lean mass, joint stiffness, and possibly mobility problems. Eating industrially made cakes on a regular basis is also connected to persistent inflammation, one of the key causes of muscular weakness and joint discomfort. Emulsifiers, stabilizers, and dyes, among other ingredients, influence the immune system and cause inflammatory reactions, mostly impacting the leg joints. More discomfort, less mobility, and a cycle of sedentarism that drives muscle loss are the outcomes. Though delicious, these cakes lack high nutritional density. That is to say, while lacking necessary nutrients like proteins, calcium, and magnesium, so vital for muscle and bone health, they are heavy in calories. Eating this kind of food often is like trying to power your body with tainted gasoline. In this situation, your muscles are the engine, and it does not react the same way. Rather, it exhibits failures, weariness, and slowness. Often the convenience of eating meals drives us to unthinking decisions. Making homemade cakes using whole flours, fruits, and natural oils can be just as practical as purchasing a ready-made product. However, the distinction is in the effect this choice will have on your body in the medium and long run. Your muscles will appreciate additional firmness, attitude, and vigor as you re-educate your palate. 8. Though they look convenient and delicious, ultra-processed cheeses like spreads, processed slices, and melted cheeses mask grave risks for people wanting maintained leg strength after 60. High in sodium and saturated fat, These meals affect the muscular and vascular system twice. Sodium promotes fluid retention and increases blood pressure. Saturated fat undermines the flexibility of blood vessels, therefore impairing circulation. These legs get more bloated, uncomfortable, and heavy as a result of this mix. Furthermore, ultra-processed cheeses frequently include preservatives and phosphates, among other ingredients that change the mineral balance of the body. Two minerals vital for muscular contraction and bone health, calcium and magnesium, are directly affected by this. Incorrect absorption of these minerals causes the body to show signs of muscular weariness, joint discomfort, and even nighttime cramps. Being huge and much used, the leg muscles are the first to show warning signals. Another significant aspect is that these cheeses lack beneficial grade proteins. Unlike artisanal cheeses, which better preserve their nutritional profile, the ultra-processed ones undergo industrial methods that lower their nutritional density. This indicates that, although you are consuming calories, the body is not getting the amino acids required to sustain muscular mass. Losing muscle is among the key causes of functional decline and dependency as one ages. Have you ever observed that following a meal high in processed foods, the body feels heavier and less eager? This is genuine and results from the demineralizing and inflammatory action of these items. Over time, the absence of necessary nutrients leads to bone weakness and a decline in muscular performance. Short walks take more effort than they should, and the steps that appear easy become a barrier. Everything can be connected to the kind of cheese that goes on your toast. A good way to maintain health is to replace these items with fresher, less processed cheeses, such as ricotta, cottage, or mayonnaise cheese. And remember, we're approaching the most significant discovery of this film. Still to come are the two worst vitamins for your legs. 7. Though they pose a great danger to leg health after 60, industrial ice creams are among the most popular dishes on hot days or as a dessert. These items are very caloric and inflammatory since they contain saturated fats with significant levels of refined sugar. This kind of diet causes increases in blood sugar, then rapid drops that endanger the muscular energy stability. This instability makes the legs weak, heavy, and more susceptible to exhaustion. Ice creams, particularly those of poor quality, contain saturated fat that harms the cardiovascular system. Oxygenated blood has trouble reaching the body's extremities, including the legs. The result is a feeling of numbness, tingling, and even ongoing cramps. Over the long term, this circulation deficit causes muscular weakening, loss of mobility, and a higher fall risk. All this time, we think we are only treating ourselves. Furthermore, industrial ice creams have artificial colors, emulsifiers, and thickeners that aggravate bodily inflammation. One of the key causes of joint and muscle tissue damage is this quiet inflammation. The ongoing use of these items encourages digestive and hormonal abnormalities that directly influence the absorption of vital nutrients for muscle development. Lacking nutrition, the body cannot stay stable and strong over time. Another important factor is that these meals provide no genuine nutritional value. Rich in empty calories, they neither build muscles, mend tissues, or feed joints. This means that even while consuming something pleasant, the feeling of weariness stays and could possibly get stronger. The impact on the legs is clear: less firmness, more everyday pain, and less tolerance to physical activity. Every mouthful robs the body of the opportunity to fortify itself. 6. Whether as a dessert or a pleasure in the middle of the day, milk chocolates are part of many people's routines, but their regular use can have a more serious effect than it first appears, particularly on the legs of persons over 60. High in sugar and saturated fat, These chocolates promote inflammatory mechanisms directly influencing joints and muscles. High glucose and poor fat together create metabolic overload, which promotes the decline of muscular power. Low cocoa content in milk chocolate is another issue, as it is exactly where the good antioxidants are found. Most commercial versions leave a highly processed product loaded with preservatives and artificial sweeteners. These chemicals not only damage the liver and pancreas, but also disrupt the absorption of vital nutrients for muscular health. The result? Exhausted legs without vigor, more susceptible to aches and stiffness. The simple sugars in these chocolates are rapidly absorbed, causing insulin surges that rob muscular energy. For people already finding it difficult to keep lean mass, this volatility is catastrophic. Furthermore, milk chocolate is sometimes linked to stomach weight growth, which aggravates the strain on the lower extremities. This continual overload promotes the wear and tear of the joints of the knees, hips, and ankles. Healthy replacements, however, let happy times still be had. High cocoa chocolates provide antioxidants and flavonoids that help circulation and muscles. When eaten in moderation, these items can even work with vascular health. Always driven by awareness and balance, the key is in selection and amount. 5. Though very convenient, canned foods have a number of ingredients that may greatly endanger the health of the legs in old age. Most of these items include chemical preservatives, such as sodium benzoate and nitrite, as well as colors, salt, and other chemicals. These substances are very inflammatory and harm muscle and vascular health. Consumed often, they impede the muscle regeneration process and make it impossible for muscles to oxygenate. Furthermore, the extra salt in canned goods promotes fluid retention, one of the main reasons for a feeling of heavy and uncomfortable legs. This retention not only causes pain, but may also suggest inadequate circulation and tissue inflammation. In those with hypertension, frequent after 60, the issue gets worse, as the additional salt stresses the cardiovascular system and compromises the supply of vital nutrients to the muscles. The decline in nutritional quality is another concerning aspect of canned foods. Even canned meats and veggies go through procedures that strip most of their inherent nutrients. What is left is a diet low in minerals and vitamins, but high in poisons. The body has to fight to get rid of this. Metabolic stress depletes energy and compromises muscular performance. Your food may be more to blame for the ongoing weariness and leg weakness than you believe. Furthermore, though in tiny quantities, the aluminum found in certain cans can build up in the body over time. There are signs that the neurological system and muscular function may be harmed by regular eating of metal container-stored meals. This raises the possibility of falls, imbalances, and gradual weakening, a risk that just doesn't pay off given the other options on the market. For people who wish to maintain mobility, an essential first step is avoiding canned items and choosing fresh, frozen, or naturally preserved alternatives. Cooking with genuine ingredients, free of synthetic additives, offers nearly instant advantages to well-being. It's also a choice that safeguards your autonomy and quality of life as time goes on. Only industrialized meals damage your legs. Realize that there is yet more to be discovered. Soon we shall discuss the two most hazardous vitamins for muscular health. The reality of these supplements could shock you. 4. Many people's snacks include filled cookies and processed snacks. However, after 60, their consumption can hasten leg strength loss. These foods are real aggressors to the body, being full of artificial substances including dyes, flavorings, preservatives, and stabilizers. They not only aggravate the body, but also stress vital organs like the liver and kidneys, directly disrupting circulation and the absorption of necessary nutrients for the musculature. These items are low in minerals, proteins, fiber, and high in calories. Put another way, they provide a lot of calories and very little nourishment. For the elderly, this is quite harmful since the body no longer keeps nutrients as it did in youth. A richer, more functional diet is needed to offset the normal loss of muscle mass brought on by aging. Eating foods high in sugar, hydrogenated fat, and salt only hastens this decline. Trans fats, or the kind of fat used in these goods, is another significant issue. One of the key inflammatory factors in the modern diet is this kind of synthetic fat. They not only block arteries, but also hinder the flow of oxygen and nutrient-rich blood to the muscles. Poor irrigation of the leg muscles results in discomfort, weariness, and sometimes a feeling of unsteady legs. Though gradually, the fragility is imposed quietly. Furthermore, too much sodium in these meals causes fluid retention, which makes the lower limb edema worse. Swollen legs are obvious indicators of a problem. Poor diet mixed with compromised circulation sets just the right conditions for the growth of varicose veins, chronic aches, and a feeling of weightiness while walking. All of this could come from apparently innocuous appetizers. These snacks and cookies also cause increases in glucose and quick drops thereafter, therefore weakening the body and creating a never-ending hunger for more food. This negative cycle decreases muscular energy and promotes weight growth. Your capacity to keep strong, healthy, and functional legs in daily life diminishes the more you rely on this kind of product. Replacing them with natural bars already totally alters this situation. 3. From ready-made seasonings to quick noodles, passing through meat broths, packet soups, and numerous frozen ready meals, industrialized foods abound with monosodium glutamate. Though its effects on the human body go far beyond taste, this addition is meant to improve the flavor of foods. For people above 60, regular intake of monosodium can be rather harmful, particularly to the leg muscles. Monosodium affects vital neurotransmitters, controlling muscular contraction by means of the neurological system. Those more susceptible to this chemical may suffer muscle aches, headaches, tinglings, and overall weariness. When these impacts show in the legs, they produce feelings of weight, stiffness, and sometimes slight tremors. As the body gets increasingly susceptible to excitotoxic chemicals, which harm neurons, the issue gets worse with age. Furthermore, monosodium glutamate causes persistent bodily inflammation, affecting joints, muscles, and blood vessels. This inflammation compromises muscular function and circulation in the extremities. Poorly oxygenated legs raise the likelihood of muscular weakness, cramping, and mobility loss considerably. Many foods with monosodium are also somewhat high in sodium, which aggravates fluid retention and leg edema. This additive also affects energy metabolism, hence altering muscular glucose consumption. This lowers the efficacy of the muscle in transforming energy into strength, hence compromising the legs even in basic activities like stair climbing or walking short distances. Over the long run, this diet might cause muscular mass loss and reliance on others to carry out daily tasks. Many people are unaware of their regular monosodium intake. Product labels hide it under several titles, including flavor enhancer, yeast extract, hydrolyzed protein, and other technical phrases that obscure its actual effect. So the goal is to choose natural flavors like fresh herbs, garlic, onion, lemon, and olive oil over ultra-processed foods and artificial seasonings. Now we will expose the two worst vitamins that, if taken in excess, could compromise your leg strength. 2. Excess vitamin A. Vitamin A is necessary for several bodily processes, including eyesight, immunity, and skin integrity. But too much vitamin A, particularly from supplements, can be harmful and lead to a number of negative consequences, including on the leg muscles. Beyond 60, the body struggles. More to metabolize and excrete. Too much of this vitamin raises the likelihood of liver and joint buildup. Muscle pain, especially in the legs and lower back, is one of the most common symptoms of hypervitaminosis A. Often mistaken for joint or spinal issues, this pain actually stems from excess vitamin A, which inflames muscle tissue. And here's something to think about. If you've been feeling muscle weakness, finding it harder to climb stairs, walk steadily, or stand up after sitting, it could be your body signaling a vitamin imbalance. Too much vitamin A not only causes discomfort, but also interferes with the absorption of essential minerals like magnesium and calcium. Without these, your muscles can't contract and relax as they should, leading to fatigue, cramps, and even spasms in your legs. If this is resonating with you, take a second to hit the like button. Your support helps more people discover life-changing health info like this. Additionally, when vitamin A builds up in the liver, it may impair your body's ability to produce energy, further weakening muscle function. Over time, this can lead to noticeable drops in strength and mobility. Another major concern: bone demineralization, especially in the legs and hips. These are areas we rely on most every day, and for anyone living with osteopenia or osteoporosis, the risks are even greater. That's why vitamin A supplements should only be taken under medical supervision and in carefully measured doses. One of the biggest hidden dangers today is self-medicating with high-strength supplements. Remember, vitamin A is already naturally present in foods like liver, egg yolk, full-fat milk, carrots, and pumpkins. A well-balanced diet typically provides all you need. But when you start stacking on fortified foods and strong supplements without tracking your total intake, that's when problems begin. If you've ever wondered about the safety of your supplement routine, drop a comment below. Let's talk about it. Sharing your experience could help someone else. Now, let's talk about another essential nutrient, vitamin D. Often praised for supporting bone health and immunity, it's heavily recommended for older adults. But here's what many don't realize. Taking too much can lead to serious side effects, particularly for your legs. Hypervitaminosis D, usually caused by excessive supplementation, results in a buildup of vitamin D in your body. One of the earliest and most noticeable symptoms: muscle pain, weakness, and loss of coordination. Since vitamin D is fat-soluble, the body stores it in fat tissue instead of flushing it out like water-soluble vitamins. This excess can raise calcium levels in the blood, a condition known as hypercalcemia. And when that happens, you may feel leg stiffness, cramps, a burning sensation in the muscles, and even joint pain. Your nerves and muscles rely on calcium for proper communication, and too much throws everything off balance. Worse still, vitamin D can cause soft tissue calcification, meaning your muscles, tendons, and ligaments, especially in the legs, can become stiff, less flexible, and painful. A vitamin meant to protect your body ends up limiting your mobility. Have you or someone you love experienced leg pain while taking vitamin D? Share your story in the comments. Your voice matters. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos that could truly help you. High doses of vitamin D can also strain your kidneys, which are responsible for managing mineral levels in your blood. When the kidneys struggle, you may notice water retention, leg swelling, muscle aches, and persistent fatigue. This creates a dangerous cycle. More vitamin D, more calcium, reduced kidney function, and worsening muscle problems. That's why it's vital to tailor vitamin D intake based on lab results and a doctor's advice. Just because a vitamin is essential doesn't mean more is better. When it comes to leg strength and overall health, balance is everything. If you're serious about staying strong and independent as you age, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because these are the kinds of facts that can truly change your life. Subscribe to the channel, since it was created to help you become a healthier person with higher quality of life. Hence, if you wish to continue getting the greatest videos for your health, do so. Assisting you is my goal. The video now playing on your screen shows the 3 necessary vitamins every diabetic should take. Check it out by clicking on the screen. Therefore, till the following video.